You wiki, Hii Spark is out, G.
Hii Spark is out. What?
Hii Spark is out.
Dude, it was dope to see you joyful the track out, man. It's been a while.
It's the dopest thing.
Yeah,
as in once there's something that was in the studio and it's out, I really celebrate. I always celebrate that. So I was happy to see it out. And shout out to anybody who made it possible. From Kulula to Kabuchography. That's Muya. Yeah, we did a quick shoot at, what do you call the spot? Between the Lines bookstore, bookshop. Yeah, in Village Market. It was cool. A nice place we like going. We get a lot of books from there too.
Yeah.
So it was a cool thing to actually see a clip of it come off it. Of course, there's the video for it.
Yeah, by
Monsoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, hiyo tunaitwa lini? Tuwapatie hii wiki
YG, man. YG.
Umonika yapo?
Hiyo story ya
platform mingi jo tafash.
Mingi bana. We're getting old in the head, not even, like with too much information, spread people don't go. Watu watakubaki mali wanapenda, man. Some people never leave IG. Some people never leave Twitter. Some people never leave Facebook. Some people never leave WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just like
focus on one.
Yeah.
And spread them out. So me, I'm happy about that track being out. It's one of the favorites.
What's the history of the instrumental?
Jeez, ni zile unafanya tu kabla doze.
Si ya kitambo.
Ile tu sasa unaona mimi nimekuja Chinese restaurant nikaitisha chipo.
Caps.
Not bad.
So
fiti, bro.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Chicken in the
Fiti. Thanks.
Those look nice.
They look gravy. Iko wapi litswai?
What?
Chumvi. Inaitwa litswai.
Salty on it. Nakanika iko na chumvi.
Yeah, they're nice and crispy. Just like I like them. So yeah, G, it was one of those jams. Just before I pass out. Ile knock something, just, join me, whether inspired or not.
Yeah.
I'll make sure there's something I left, whether it was a snare design.
Yeah.
Or just some drum loop I was working on. So it was one of those, and it was almost a deleted beat. But remember, just from experience and from living life and doing this for so long, never delete shit.
Never delete shit.
The wackest shit, the shit you know feeling. Yeah, there's a day it's going to hit a sweet spot even without you knowing. So yeah, and you came through and you're like, Blaq, what is this? Yeah. Kwa gatu inasemaga tufungie maneno.
I'm usually me, I appreciate things like I've tried making beats in the past. I've sat down, I don't have the patience.
No, but the pen, you have the patience.
I have the pen, but I have the patience to write, but the patience to the way I see you working on a hi-hat. But last night when we were seated there, but I kind of got lost. I kind of got consumed in the repetitiveness. Sometimes it becomes a sort of, you start appreciating sound rather than the melodies. So I admire that. I think that's also why I always gravitated towards producers. Any producer, I like looking at that shit and maybe just saying one thing. Like when you're mastering, I just say one thing and be like, oh, that can work. You move and do something. So I love that type of shit. But kwanza from scratch, Buddha.
And I appreciate it. Yeah, asante bro. Asante.
It looks healthy as.
So true.
Shit on the plate looks bigger, man.
Now you, niambie the stuff you're talking about in that track, G.
Kwa Hii Spark.
G, your pen, and not because we do what we do together and stuff. G, I look at your pen.
Yeah,
what the fuck? As in, some things hit you when you're mixing. Like there's the thing for mucus yesterday.
Yeah, it was 4 a.m. I'm sitting there trying to harness some sleep. I see you walking by, you're like, what did you say? And I'm
Gee.
like, cool, that's
Gee.
dope, that's dope, that's dope.
And I think when it comes to writers, I'm really, and also just deciding to keep quiet and focus more on real writers and make the music for it. It's the fascination I get from a sick pen. Just clever things, and it's to me it's what makes it's what ndio nifanya nasikia kukaa nikifanya tu kitu.
Yeah.
As in just stay at it. As in just the fascination of somebody will come through, and the pen is something I'm learning from. But you expand your imagination besides just enjoying a jam and bump into it. There's time for that, but those are the least of times when you're trying to listen to a rap. There's so many other genres you can go for the bop, you know, the head bop, and you know, so with the respect we have for hip hop, poetry, and spoken word is, hey man, there's a further thought that can make you reevaluate even what you're thinking or what you're experiencing. So shout out to that. That was there's bars. There's bars in Hii Spark.
Yeah.
There's bars, G. There's bars. And for anybody who's not checked it out, MaLiZaRoHo.
Yeah, and even without
check it out.
Me, like if you ask me, I just always wanted to do for hip hop what hip hop has done for me. Like do for the writing what the writings of other people did to me, man.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy. Like someone can say some shit and Jana na kina Shakespeare. Rappers should also be hung in spaces. Cause you know, it's crazy. You just put a word, it's a world, you know, in that word. And I used to be a spoken word artist, but I love rap more because you can pack a lot and also have fun at the same time.
Now, fun is all good.
Yeah.
But to me, first thing about rap, and why I've always felt like, again, maybe it's the old school G in me, and maybe even the reason why I got into it, I got to appreciate. It's the only platform you have, you can say so much in just 3 minutes. Dude, you better not be shooting me some bullshit.
In 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes, my G.
180 seconds, my G. Or less. It's even
I can get that from other genres. I can get that from that. But yeah, somebody mumbled some nice stuff. I like mumbles. Unajua zileta going in Negro spirituals. Whatever, I don't get that shit. But I'm like, if it's sounding nice and it's carrying me to some place, I can mumble along with whoever it is. But when it comes to the raps,
don't fuck around with raps, Blaq.
G, 3 minutes. 16 bars times 2 times 3 times 4. And you're shooting me bullshit? I miss the G. Yeah, it's just
Wisdom and experience. Is that thing
because in my hip hop album of all time is Sons of Men. The last shall be the first. The last album, it comes down to Fantastic Volume 2 Slum Village. There are commons like Water for Chocolate. Just around that time, the latter 3 years after Sons of Men came out, I'm even naming the third, that's Kikamba. Mwana Mundu, the third in direct translation of Son of Man.
Yeah.
It was my pop's nickname too. They used to call him Mwana Mundu. So, dude, it was life is reality, reality is life. Nigga live and thrive. As I'm like these things I was speaking from those jams as a youth man at 16.
Yeah.
Shout out to nigga Daz Toto. At 16 giving me such CDs and I'm like, damn man. you're wallowing in these things. You're going to a thesaurus, you didn't have internet then. You're going to your dictionaries to pick up other words. That thing is still a beautiful thing. I hear folks talk about dictionary rappers. Like, gee, teach me something new, I don't know. It can't be just about the very superficial life we live.
Dictionary, music, I approve it.
Let me learn something. What does that word mean? It's a nice question to ask after hearing a rap, only to go read it. It expands your knowledge. So yeah, you've packed a bunch of shit on Hii Spark.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm still picking up things daily as I listen to it. I ain't getting used to most of the jams we have, and that's a beautiful thing because you're always looking forward to
and I think
try and learn something.
There are ear cleansers for anybody out there who's being saturated in whatever, there's too much of something. And the B-boys who've been saying they want that beat to B-boy, I'm sending that shit to you. I got 2 B-boys, they're like, and I'm like, dude, that's another element of hip-hop wanting to come through. And I always appreciate that shit.
Shout out to them,
yeah,
G, that means a lot.
B-boys were like, hey, dude, this thing, I could move to it. I'm like, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Kesho jamaa.
Ndizo zinakam. So at the same time, me, Hii Spark was. I wrote something on IG there, nikisema someone told me about the distance between the mind and the brain is 30 centimeters, and it's the longest journey we always have to take. Distance refu kufika hii spot yetu. Because I feel we do this shit from the heart, even though it's crazy and it's MaLiZaRoHo. Sometimes just moving the heart and we're always switching between them things, man. So it's just like ni distance refu kufika hii spot yetu, wakidiscuss hebu acha ni dispatch mbegu kupe hii spot yetu. But some of these things, I think it's time.
That's
time
information. Never thought, or never even pictured. As in the longest distance we travel as human beings. It sounds so philosophical.
Yep.
You know, it sounds very philosophical, but when you think about it, the trips you make between the mind and the heart, G, in a day.
And me now, when you say,
and it's just 30 centimeters.
But you're always like, you have a lot of things packed here. Then the heart, the heart knows
but who is
things.
you?
If it's me.
Who's you? Who's traveling between the mind and the heart?
That's now you see, now you're deepening this question. Who's traveling? That now I have to go and think, that's another song. You've sparked another song. Now that I gotta go and try and make it palatable for mtu akule hiyo. Mimi naona saa zingine tu umechoka kujisumbua na vitu, naambia wasee hata nyinyi jisumbukeni na hizo stuff. You send it to the listeners. You're like, hata mimi nisaidie na hii story. That's the other part. But that thing about some nigga was saying you'd rather be a king first before you become a philosopher. Would you before be a king and then philosophize later? Or you do philosophize as you, but whatever works. I think everything is needed. AIs cannot philosophize. That's the only career they can't do. AIs haziwezi philosophize.
Ngoja
Socrates. Socrates.
Ngoja hata simulate hiyo kitu sahi.
Atakwambia nini? Kevin Samuel's AI.
Ngoja. Me, that thing, I look at it from a distance. I'm like, hey, jamaa. Like kwa koni mwana ina creep in. No, unajua humans, when you can think, it can be. This guy's gonna sit down and simulate philosophy.
How many things they do? Sometimes my YouTube sends me some suggestions. I'm like, well, so I have to spy too much. Very specific thing. Even I haven't said. I just thought about it and I was like, naingia YouTube.
I'm sure.
Unapata mtu nimekuwekea hapo, niaje mse.
Ndio ulikuwa unafikiria. Hebu cheki. There's something around it. But, G, don't even know.
Don't even know.